cheap solar power, batteries, and electric vehicles are changing the transport and energy sector as we know. I bring in guests to this podcast who will help you with their ideas to navigate this energy transition. By the way, this episode is also available as a video on our YouTube channel. Just search Energypreneurs. Thank you for joining. Hi, Amie. Good afternoon from Manila. Where are you?
Good afternoon from Berlin.
Berlin.
I'm in Berlin, yes. It's
Wow.
been a while since we last saw each other.
Yes, when we met, I think in February 2023, when I recorded, I was looking the podcast episode 116 or 118. So at that time, AI was very new, and you had so much into AI. I thought it would be a good idea to get an update. What have you been doing? Now the whole world is trying to do AI in some form or other.
Yes, definitely. Nowadays, I think recently I read a LinkedIn post. It's basically this. If you're using AI sporadically, you're in 2023. If you're using AI GPT on a daily basis, but not AI agent, then you're in 2024. But if you have full AI agent, then you're in 2024. So that kind of sums up how fast the pace has been moving since 2020. I guess my question to you, Sohail, how has your own personal experience with implementing artificial intelligence, especially generative AI, your daily workflow? You have your podcast, your research, you have your LinkedIn post. So how has it been for you?
Yeah, I think especially the podcast, it has dramatically changed video editing side of it, because I did a lot of video editing with old VHS tape, right? From that world now, here you upload in Descript and you get the whole text on the left-hand side. You can cut a paragraph out, paste, and then you can edit, trying to make the YouTube shorts. Now and then I was also saying, okay, let me upload the whole transcript, which I get from Author, another AI. I upload to ChatGPT. I said, okay, give me half a dozen topic that I can cut and make a short, and give me the timestamp, give me the start paragraph and end paragraph so that I can search and find it quickly. Not all the time I would agree, but still it's a fantastic good start. So if I cut a 2-minute or a 3-minute and then take it to this video, it's unbelievable. You can just move around. Oh, this sentence should have been said in front and the back. Move around like a Word document. Of course, you can also add, which I don't want to add. And the video changes in the background. So that is fantastic. And then every day I also, I should use a bit more Notion AI for optimizing calendars. So that is good. And then, of course, I have Alexa doing a lot of things here. And then I'm very much I'm driving electric cars. So that's also full AI. It's including
Yeah.
simple things like you stand behind the car and it knows it's you, then it opens the boot. So like everyone else, a lot of little things.
I see. I see, but that's a lot of already from the video editing point of view, because I don't do a lot of video editing. So what you just shared with me is a completely new use case for me. It's very interesting to know that's the capability nowadays that AI can do for video production from where end. So have you tried programming with the help?
Not yet.
of
AI agent and programming is on my list of things to do.
Understood. Understood. So that's one of the projects that I took on this year. I've been maintaining my financial management through a spreadsheet, an Excel spreadsheet, and it's completely manual. Every month I have to copy the whole structure and then restart from scratch. So I got really sick of doing that every month with the release of Cursor. And then we have also Windsor. I wanted to build a web application around it. And I also want it to look nice. So those are my two main criteria, that it helps me with my expense tracking, specifically for credit card. And also it looks good. It feels nice to use. And so with the combination of using V0, Windsor, and Cursor, which employed AI agent through Claude and also GPT, I was able to build like a few rounds MVPs of the product. So it started as an expense tracking app that automate my financial management workflow to now has a budget setting feature, a net worth tracking feature that helps me know not just what is my expense, but also how is my investment, how is my wealth growing?
I think agent is the future. I just haven't started.
Yes, absolutely. And because of my line of work, we do SaaS, right? Software as a service. It's completely non-negotiable next step for any SaaS company. At least that's what Satya Nadella saying in his interview. To build an AI agent layer on top of whatever SaaS you're offering. So, for example, for Hyperverse, what we do is identity verification, anti-money laundering, and also fraud prevention. So each of these components is an AI agent itself. You can call it a risk or a compliance AI agent that even further automate whatever workflows that is already being implemented with these products. Many companies are already building these in the US, for example. KYB, Know Your Business AI agent.
MYOB, yes.
So, yes.
I think it's limited by our imagination right now. The other day, I posted into social media and had a lot of fun. I have a lot of coins that I collected as a child. So I put all of them on the table, took a photo and said, tell me, where are they from? Oh my God. I had one that every museum I went and I looked for it, it's from my grandfather's collection. And said, oh, it is from that era. Price is this, a copy is in these museums. And I said, oh my God. All I took a photo and upload, and it gave me an entire history with the photos and everything else. So it's unbelievable.
Beautiful. And also an integral part of my day right now, my work day, is I always start, of course, aside from the planning, is whatever task I'm working on, especially if it's a lot of analysis and market research, I always brainstorm first with either GPT or Gemini. I would believe you would do the same for the kind of topics that you do research on or you do podcasts on with your guests. And it's like this intellectual sparring partner for you. And the other day, I also listened to this podcast from Stephen Bartlett, The Diary of the CEO. And he mentioned that there is a good way to use AI. And also there is, I won't say a bad way, but it's not helping the brain to develop appropriately if you just kind of upload all your cognitive thinking to AI. So AI, this generative AI LLM model is for you to interact, not for you to ask it to do something and then check the results without proofreading or without validating.
Having a fight is a bit fun. You know what I did yesterday? I developed a lot of different system with Airtable, spreadsheet. This is to manage the podcast guest requests, right? Someone will send you on a WhatsApp, LinkedIn message, Facebook, Messenger, email, you name it, right? And something come from Calendly, right? So if I'm maintaining a place, uploading a lot of work, so then I thought, what would be the simplest thing I would like? Somebody taking a note behind me saying, hey, can you take this WhatsApp message? Can you write this down and give me a table? Then I say, hey, ChatGPT should be able to do that. So what I did, wherever I was, I took a screenshot and dump, and said, okay, give me a summary. And it gave me a nice summary. And I said, okay, based on whatever information you have, prioritize. So it prioritized. I said, what's your basis? Why? Then I got into an argument.
Exactly.
You have, this is a priority. I said, no, I do not agree because of that. Okay, I agree. It's really fun that you're like arguing with someone. Then I said, okay, give me a to-do list that I can cut and paste. I use things for my to-do. I said, give me a to-do format in things, and I imported. Now it's on my watch. I can just see, okay, Amie, I have to call. It's amazing. It's amazing. That would have taken me, with all the procrastinations we do, 3, 4, 5 days. And it took me 20 minutes sitting by the pool, drinking a coffee. It's unbelievable.
Yes, and the more context it has on you, the more context of what kind of main goals you want to achieve this month, what you like doing, what you don't like doing. And I think GPT now has memory across chats as well. So you can refer to many of your chats. So it builds its understanding of you. And that's why the prioritization and the recommendation that it gives becomes more and more relevant to today.
Scary.
Yes, and that's why I guess it's also very hard to switch from one model to another once you've already deeply interacted with it. For example, someone using Claude from the beginning, they don't want whatever context that the AI model has on them to be lost when they transfer to GPT, for example.
There I agree to one thing though, that sticking to one particular model has value. It's buying a new phone. Your old phone, if you know all the features, or your camera, it's way better than a brand new camera with lots of features that you don't know. So it's the language. If you have built up a relationship, lack of a better word, with a AI or a system or a software, you could do way faster than others would. You won't know. There was a product called Word Perfect before Microsoft Word came in. So a lot of people migrate, is showing my age, but they could do by pressing function button super fast. Even you could not do with a
Oh,
mouse because they grew up with that key combinations, right? Like a control C,
yeah,
control V sort of situation. No one could compete, but it is very hard to learn. But because they have learned, no one else can. So I'll rather stick to one model and let it
yeah,
grow. At
yeah,
least I
yeah.
will know everything, as opposed to trying every day a different model. Then my skill will be like I'm driving a sort of competency of a 5-year-old trying a car tomorrow, plane this thing.
I try this thing when I ask Gemini, for example, to validate output from GPT and vice versa. For researching tasks, my husband has a Perplexity Flow account, and Perplexity does a very good job across many different sources. Also, I find that Gemini writing and output has more of a professional vibe to it as compared to GPT, which is more personalized. Uses like emojis, it knows how you speak. Sometimes it praises you, like, oh, that's an amazing question, great topic, this kind of thing. Gemini is more demure for that sense. And so sometimes whatever output I get from Gemini, I'll ask GPT to validate and vice versa. So I switch between these two models for my work and for my personal on a daily basis. But one thing is set a generic custom instruction for your GPT. Like this is the kind of instruction that it has to apply across all
I
the
have
tasks.
set up few, I don't know, not the real agent before it came up. Like you have a particular task that is designed. So you upload a file, it will apply those instructions to that file.
Oh, okay.
Not like a, okay, set up a whole, like a big, every time this is the scenario. No, I have not. I read about it,
No,
but I've been lazy.
yeah, but you can try it out because usually I think this started when GPT has the phase of being very psychoprone. If that's the word, that it start praising you too much, you would ask a very simple question and then it would say, wow, that's the best question on earth. Nobody has ever thought of that question aside from you. So that's why I read some thread on Reddit and I set an instruction for GPT. Okay, when I ask a question or when I start a thread, always approach it with this lens, like systemic thinking, first principle thinking, always analyze things from first principles, those kind of thing, and always be objective. Don't praise unnecessarily, that kind of thing. And so far, it's been very consistent in the way that it talks to me. You're teaching it how to interact with you the way you like. So that's how it is, basically. You should try it out.
Okay, I know. It's interesting because you were also doing, I remember the one thing that you mentioned, that these are my idol, these are my diaries, tell me what are the things I would do to narrow that gap, something like that, no? How is that project coming along?
Yeah, it's going well. I guess I'll give you an example. An improvement of that project is not just modulate my behavior based on my idols, but also creating a definite alter ego. So, for example, let's call her like I'm Amie, right? So let's call her Vanessa. So Vanessa is Amie, but on steroids. For example, she's very focused on work. She doesn't get distracted. And then I would describe the kind of characteristic that I think Vanessa has. I put it on GPT or Gemini, and then I ask them to reverse engineer. Okay, so in order to have this characteristic, what is her day-to-day routine? What does she do? How does she act in certain situation? How does she manage her boss? How does she manage her colleagues? So basically, a behavioralist of this outer ego that I want to embody when I'm at work. So that's another project. And then it gives me a whole description. Okay, this is Vanessa. This is her morning routine. This is her work schedule. This is how she relaxes afterwards. And then you just read it on a daily basis and kind of get into character before I go to work.
Only Amie can think like this.
No, I'm pretty sure many people think the same thing. But it goes to show that the crazy amount of creativity that you can put into your interaction with the LLM, right?
Yeah, it is quite unthinkable. And the bit that I'm intrigued that all people have to do, venture out things that they know. I have a solar panel in my house in Melbourne that has like a grouped different solar and it goes to an inverter. So the apps gives you this and I can easily calculate how much electricity at any given time this is happening. I just been lazy, right? So then I thought, okay, let me take a screenshot and give it to ChatGPT. Can you explain what's going on? Oh my God, it gave the full analysis. I said, how do I optimize to this and that? And then you're just thinking, anyone can do it. It's just taking that step, saying, I don't understand. Let's see what it thinks.
Yes.
It is extraordinary. You say, seriously? Then I thought, okay, let's optimize this. What about this? Where do I stand based on this? Amazing. Yeah, it's just limited by our imagination. But I don't know where it is going, though.
Yes. I really don't know either. Everything's happening so fast and so soon, right? I listen to, for example, have you noticed that there are some posts on LinkedIn now that shows ad on GPT chat? And the ad is extremely relevant. It's relevant to the content of the chat between the user and GPT. And then there's another AI company that comes in and say, oh, it's not from GPT, it's our plugin on certain browser that can target ad based on the input that you give GPT. So I think this is also one signal for what the future hold, which is GPT or this large LLM model becomes a distribution channel, the same way that Facebook or uh, Instagram becomes the distribution and growth channel for companies, right? So the same thing goes for GPT.
Yes, and they will have so much more data once they start talking to each other. Oh my God.
Yes,
That's why
definitely.
people have to change name every 5 years. And then it
Uh,
will figure out also. How many agents are you using now? Because I know that you
oh,
can easily do multiple agents, no?
yes, that's the idea for tools like N8N, which is for you to connect different agents. So, for example, using my line of work right now, outbounds, pipeline generation, you have an agent that does account, deep dive on whatever business problems that these financial institutions have, and then a customization agent that take the information of the lead and the information of the account and create an outbound email or a LinkedIn reach out, and then the execution agent that goes on LinkedIn or goes on Gmail and take input from these other agents. So this whole workflow connected to each other. You have a team agents doing the work for you. That's still a work in progress. It's not perfect. It has to have a human in the loop to review each and every step of the way. So it's not the most efficient, but that's the state of it right now. You don't know how it is this time next year or 2 years or 5 years from now.
Yeah, I don't know. Because the whole interaction, if you have half a dozen agents, so basically your agents represents your interests, right? It's almost like you are a CEO of a big department and your marketing head does all the marketing.
Yes.
So any marketing, you will pass it to him or her, the agent in this context. Yeah, eventually you might not know what's going on in marketing because the agent takes
Yeah.
care of it and one can only do that much.
Exactly. Or product design, if the agent is the one doing the browsing, the work for us, the human, then how does product design cater to the agent taste? So right now, all the features are catering to our taste as human, the convenience that we feel and the joy we feel from using certain features. If the agent is the one browsing the product, browsing the web, then there's going to be an evolution in terms of how the product is designed, right?
Yeah.
Or in terms of, I'll give you an example of my current web application, the finance one. I
Mhm.
initially wanted to automate further. So right now, the input of the transaction data is still manual. I had to go on there to put my data. I wanted to build an API that can call to the backend of my finance web app. But now if I have an AI agent, for example, GPT operator, I can just put my transaction screenshot, ask GPT to interact with my web page, and give the data. So there's no API needed to be built.
Yeah. Those sort of very customized APIs telling the program where to look for what data come from a very old Fortran programming days that you need to precisely take which column, which cells. But still, most of the APIs, you had to tell where things are. But AI, you don't.
Yes.
And it will
They
make
basically
mistakes, but if you train it, then it gets corrected, no?
right now GPT agent takes a long time to complete a test, but again, that's the state it is right now. I haven't seen it make much mistake. The only thing is the compute and the time and the effort that goes into doing very simple tasks, such as adding a transaction to my web page. The time that it takes to do it, then I can do it myself, right?
Yes, but all it will be if you have to do 10,000 times, then you don't have to do it, right?
I mean, if I had 10,000 transactions, I would be concerned.
No, what I meant to say that when you have multiple,
Understood.
it gets
Yeah.
automated, right? Because I'm still
Yes.
thinking, like one idea I had, yeah, I think Amie is the perfect person for it. But 4 months back, I decided saying I have 250 hours of content from the podcast. I have the audio, I have the video, and I have the text also. Now, I can a quarterly basis publish a book on the topics.
Nice.
And with a co-author, like we are discussing now, okay, me and I jointly publish a simple book, audio book, book, print on order, whatever you want to call it. But then I thought, maybe I wait 3 more months, let the AI become a bit more sophisticated. Because when I looked at it, they said, oh, Google or Amazon just stop people from publishing, I think 20 or 30 books a day because people were just publishing. They put a cap. I said, wow. So people are just publishing without even knowing what they're publishing because I saw some of the YouTube channel basically saying you can publish. So obviously, so you have any suggestion as to what may be the best way to proceed a book project?
I really don't know, Sohail, what would be the outcome that you want from this book project? Is there certain messages or insights you want to spread across to your listener or your followers?
Yeah. What I'm doing is a bit crazy. I'm going top down, basically saying these are the topic, these are the things, these are the thing. I know it's in this discussion, so that's a top down. And the bottom up, I have the raw data conversation like this, and asking
Yeah.
ChatGPT go and find the relevant parts, and then match this top down. I still control the content that way. So I thought, okay, what would
Yeah,
be the most efficient because it's a lot of work.
it is. And it's a lot of indexing as well because it's
Yes.
200 hours of work. Off the top of my mind, I don't know any more efficiently optimized way to do it. But for sure, if I find a way, I will tell you.
Yeah, we have to wait.
Yes.
The
Yes.
AI get a notch more sophisticated.
Have you tried our Notebook LM from Google?
No, I read about it now. Okay, I'll try. Notebook LM, right?
Yes. So far, I've had a lot of luck adding 10 PDFs. What it does very well is index information that's cross documents. So it's able to retrieve information right away that is good for learning things. And then now it has two options for you to generate audio and generate video based on whatever input it gives you. The video is just surprisingly good. It's very conversational. It takes technical details and information to make it digestible for you. So you should try it out.
Wow, that's scary.
Yeah, it's a future of education, right? Any topics that you want to understand in deep dive, like regulations, crypto, finance, put it in there and it makes it accessible for you.
And then you interact, right?
It's interactive. The audio, not yet. I think it's a beta thing for you to interact with the audio. But chat wise, you can chat with your PDFs. You can chat with your knowledge base.
Yeah, that's extraordinary in terms of, yeah, all those data points. My God.
So that's another suggestion. Maybe you can check some transcript of whatever podcast you had in certain topics, dump it all on NotebookLM and start chatting with it. We can ask, what is the recurring important theme across all these episodes? And then from there, you get your high-level topic. And there goes your first mini book published.
My God. So, Amie, you have your own YouTube channel yet or not yet? Or no time?
I really don't know what kind of value addition I can bring at this point. I do share a lot of my projects on LinkedIn. For example, that finance app project, I share. But one day, if I feel like I have a lot to say and I have a lot to share, I would consider it. For now, I'm happy being a guest.
So, what else have you been doing in Germany other than working in AI?
Playing a lot of chess. As the last time I saw you, I also told you that I've been improving my chess. So that's also a hobby that I work on. I started doing sewing projects, like upcycling old clothes, that kind of thing. That I like go to vintage store and thrifted store to buy old clothes and then tailor it to make it look nicer based on my taste. So I do try to make sure that my hobby range from using the mind to using the hand as well. So it's not just all day thinking, working with AI. It's get tiring. You have photography. I'm not into photography, but I'm also been enjoying taking photo with a digital camera or a film camera, for example.
Yeah, photography
So
also, I think what AI has done in terms of editing and suggesting, it's sped up the whole process. So that's actually quite nice, sort of.
yeah, because my work requires so much AI usage that my hobby, I don't want anything to do with AI. Let me sew alone. Let me do play chess alone. No AI here. The only AI that chess has is after the game. Then the chess engine gives me some recommendation on, okay, this move was bad, this move was good, and this is how you should move. So that's the only artificial intelligence part in that
So
hobby.
you're playing chess with a computer or with someone else?
I would like to play offline, but here mostly I play online. Play online every day. I spend 30 to 40 minutes playing chess.
Online with other chess players.
With a chess player, yes, on chess.com.
Ah, okay. I did not know that.
Yeah, and so that's mostly it. Working a lot and then chess, sewing, and also I try to stay fit. I run and go to the gym, and then I hang out with friends. It's important to make new friends in a new city, in a new country.
So how much have you traveled within Europe? You at the time or not yet?
Yes, actually, when we first moved to Berlin, we tried to maximize every weekend we would be in some new cities. So up until today, I think I've been to, including all countries, right? In Southeast Asia, here it's 33 countries. My husband, he's been to 60 countries. He's a travel geek.
So how many have you done so?
33
Ah,
countries
33.
so far
Okay.
from me.
Yeah, I think I counted last time was 29. I've not updated, so that was a few years back.
Yeah, I think yours would be much more.
Yeah, countries are
Yours would be more.
so different. Yes. So what do you tell someone who wants to be Amie, who wants to be very AI literate?
I guess the first thing is to use it, right? There can only be that many LinkedIn posts or YouTube channel that you follow and you read. But until you implement it and see for yourself, for example, the simplest thing, whatever is that person role, list down what is their workflow and see in what part of that workflow it can be deferred to LLM. For example, that AI agent for outbound sleeps. That is the system, right? Think of your day-to-day work as a system, and what part of that system can be deferred to AI. And that's the first step. And then just follow on key influencer on LinkedIn, on YouTube. I have a few recommendations that I will send you so after the call as well, so you can open your podcast and build your own app, build your own automation workflow in personal life as well.
Yeah, I want to build one. Yeah, Apple app. I look through the instructions and everything is quite easy. Just need to dedicate 3-4 hours
Exactly.
side time and just do it. Because what is possible today with AI in any field is So it's mind-boggling.
You have the chance to hyper customize everything to your taste. That's even more of a joy to use, right?
Yeah, like I was doing some property research for rural New South Wales, and I said, okay, this is what I'm looking for. This is the view I want. This is the price point I want. This is the facilities I want. This is the zone I want. And it's the way it is filtering. This is quite scary because it has access to the photos and everything else. And what about this? No, I don't like. Okay, then I realize that it's also exactly as you're saying, calibrating the decision I'm making, as I said. So next time you don't show me that one. So yeah, it's quite daunting, and the speed at which these things happen. So I don't know
Yes.
what all the different jobs, positions, expertise, where it is headed. It's very daunting.
Yes. And I guess the best way to be moving along with it is to be growing alongside it. Whatever new use case, you have to jump on it and try it out immediately. That's the only way to not be outdated to the pace of how things are moving nowadays.
Yeah, I was listening to one of the podcasts with, I forgot his name now. Okay. And basically, he was saying the two group of people will be people who are competitive in nature. They will compete exactly as you said, walk by the side and be efficient, improve. And then others will slowly move out. So he was saying, in his view, that there will be two group of people, and ultimately you have to provide maybe universal income to cover everyone, because not everybody will be in a mentality wise, ability wise to compete. And that's the societal change, might be that people, those who like to compete, will keep on competing with each other because of the new tool, and they will be very different from rest of the people. Of course, if you have so much, old days, those people who had fire, who had gun, moved super fast, right, relative to others. And this is an extraordinary tool, right?
You can go all the way and then just focus on work that requires your hand, like carpenter or things that still requires a human touch and hone your skill there. But I think that would be extremely competitive as well.
Yeah, this guy was saying everybody should go and become a plumber, because plumbing, you need to use a lot of judgment.
So yeah, excited to see how things are gonna progress. I'm
Are you
excited for
doing,
your episode.
yeah, are you
So
doing much with the robots, robotics?
no, actually, I would be keen to, but haven't had a chance to know how I can get updated on what's happening.
Yeah, I plan to start mini projects actually starting tonight. So I plan to go and watch the back-to-back two old episodes of Terminator. So that sets the scene. And then I thought, okay, then I'll see how far we are from where it is, what was supposed to happen.
Yeah, Terminator is a over exaggeration, but I get what you mean.
Oh, we are not very far from there. I mean, where things are headed.
In terms of capabilities, yes, but in terms of the premise of the movie, it's putting robots and people against each other in a sense. I don't think it has to be that way.
You are the one who was talking about AGI coming in 2029, right? Now people saying it may be in lurking around the corner anytime,
Yeah,
2027. No?
it seems so, no? It seems so. But who knows, maybe that the 80% of the growth is easy to achieve, but then the 20% left of the growth might requires a lot more efforts, a lot more compute, a lot more programming and algorithm and improvement. We don't know. Usually the last part, the last mile is the hardest part.
Yes, but we don't know.
We don't know. That's why the main thing we can do today is again, use it or lose it.
Yes, if you don't use it, you will become irrelevant very fast.
True, that's true.
Because on everything, like I was driving my car here in Manila yesterday, and suddenly a motorbike came from nowhere. And the car, this is the Tesla Model Y, made a beep, and I think it course corrected a bit. And I was thinking, if it did not, I was double mind. Maybe it avoided an accident, because this guy came from, and he was also saying sorry. He just, did the car just save me an accident? I don't know.
Be a tip.
Yeah, maybe it did because I was just sitting there. I was not even moving.
Oh, okay. You weren't driving.
Yeah, I was like
Driving
moving
is
maybe 10K in a traffic and somebody just passed through he or she, I think it's a he, is trying to go between cars on the left-hand side, realize it won't
Mhm.
fit, then just did this and try to go on the right-hand side. And then I was actually slowly indicating I will get out to the right-hand side. So what's your
Yeah.
view on autonomous cars?
To be honest, I haven't looked much into the sector. I myself have been in a few autonomous vehicles during Uber drive. The only thing I can say in terms of UX is just extremely smooth, extremely high user experience feeling. But I also heard that, for example, Waymo in Japan or in the US right now is completely non-driving Uber. You come in and you don't have to greet anyone. You get from point to point B, and the fare is much cheaper. And Waymo has been there since I think 2014, very long time ago. The vision has been there since the beginning. Autonomous vehicle.
Yes, the Tesla robotaxi, they're doing it as standard Model Y. It's nothing
Mm-hmm.
fancy. The car that I have. And Waymo is a $250,000 car with all those LiDAR cameras and bells and whistles. So if Waymo can do it cheaper than Uber, just imagine if Teslas of the world come in and does the same with the existing cameras. Transport will be free.
I don't think capitalists are gonna like that idea. If things are gonna be free, I don't think things are gonna move in towards that way.
Free means you will take the human element out of it.
It's gonna be free for the company. In terms of cost, yes.
And then the cost will come down.
Yes.
Interesting. Oh, thank you for time. Is there anything else I could have asked? You know so much.
No, you're the one who knows so much, Sohail, and I'm very happy to have this conversation with you today. I think that sums up mostly of my focus few days, few years, few weeks. And yeah, very excited to see how things unfold.
Maybe we should have another conversation in 6 months' time. Or if you're coming to Manila or Australia, we should catch up and compare notes. I have a lot of plans in
Absolutely.
6 months.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You're always brewing something, always on the move, always have some projects ongoing. Very exciting.
Yeah. Trying to. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Sohail, for your time. And see you next. Have a great day.
Thank you. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Energypreneurs. If you enjoyed this, don't forget the full video is on YouTube. Just search Energypreneurs. Thank you. See you next time.